Remember when your husband couldn't keep his eyes off of you or his hands? Well, if you're missing that spark and that sizzle and you want to feel truly desired again, this episode is for you. I'm going to reveal what you can do to be ridiculously attractive to your husband, and it goes way beyond looks. I'm Laura Doyle, New York Times bestselling author, and I was the perfect wife until I got married. This is the Empowered Wife podcast. If you're anything like me and most of the women I talk to, you really want to feel that your husband desires you, that he finds you irresistible. And if, like me, you found yourself feeling entirely resistible to your husband, you know how painful that is. And you might think that means it's time to lose some weight or get a makeover. When I found myself unable to seduce my own husband, that's what I thought too. But that had nothing to do with why I wasn't attractive to him. And now that I know what makes me irresistible to him, I just want every woman to know. I want to like spam everybody's email so that you know, because this stuff really works to make you look amazing to your husband. Like I'll just be brushing the crumbs off the kitchen counter, and my husband will say, "Don't move," and pull out his phone to start taking pictures of me like I'm the supermodel that he's been married to for 35 years. What I've learned has given me an unfair advantage. Here's how to make yourself into a magnet, even when you're bloated with bed hair and you're wearing sweatpants. Number one, use this cheat phrase. The best conversationalists are good listeners. This magical phrase is going to make you a great listener. It's just three words. You ready? They are, I hear you. Not, I hear you. And what I think is, or I hear you. And have you thought about that? No, you're not agreeing. You're not disagreeing. You're just witnessing what he's sharing with you. You're just listening. We all have a deep need to be heard and understood. And giving the gift of listening well without commenting, that's going to make you attractive to the man that you're listening to. I did this over lunch at a diner one time. John was talking about his marathon training plans. And I'm not particularly interested in marathon training plans, but it was his voice, his face, his ideas, his thoughts, and he was sharing them with me. And he's my beloved. It was very intimate. Number two, use the best aphrodisiac on the planet for men. And you might be thinking, wait, I didn't know there was an aphrodisiac for men, but there is, and it's free, it works fast. And I'm going to tell you what it is, but honestly, you probably won't understand at first. I mean, I sure didn't. All right, the best aphrodisiac on the planet for men is respect. It's respect. But it's not the kind that you might be thinking of, like that you would give to your boss or your teacher or your parent, where you show deference and obedience. Not like that. The kind of respect I'm talking about is where you honor his thinking and you admire his accomplishments and his capabilities. That doesn't mean you agree, but it doesn't mean that you sneer or laugh or criticize what he thinks either. If you do any of that, and regrettably, I admit I still do that from time to time, it means that you apologize for being disrespectful. No, like recently, I was telling my husband that he should put in hair product, and I wasn't terribly respectful about it. So I apologized for being disrespectful when I told him to put the hair product in. Now, do you have to use the word disrespectful? You might wonder. Well, that depends. Do you want an unfair advantage to look more attractive to your husband or not? Number three, be pleasable. If you are frequently complaining about things around the house or the cars or the yard or the restaurant he took you to, you might start to seem unpleasable, especially if he doesn't know what it is you want exactly, if he just knows what you don't want. But if you're open and receptive, if you're down for an adventure, you're going to seem alluring and special and beautiful. like Janine did one time when she and her man were out and they were going to go to a restaurant and he took them down the wrong street. That wasn't the street the restaurant was on, and she knew it. But instead of correcting him when he said, let's go this way, she just decided to enjoy the walk together and said, whatever you think. She was surprised and delighted when they stumbled on a live band playing on that wrong street. Sure, it took them longer to get to the restaurant, but it made this ordinary night romantic and intoxicating. Number four, get happy. You are never going to be hotter than when you're laughing, smiling, singing, and dancing. Those are all the signs that you're happy, which your man cares deeply about, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. I've asked thousands of men, well, how important is it to you that your wife is happy or your girlfriend is happy? And they all say the same thing. They say, oh, it's very important, or it's the most important thing, or it's everything. And in the UK, they say it's imperative. So when he sees you having a great time, he's going to feel successful at making you happy. All you have to do is have a great time and inform your face about it. You might even consider going on an intentional smile campaign, which is better than Botox for making you look attractive to your husband. That happened to Dina, whose marriage had been struggling for years when she decided to experiment at dinner by just smiling at him and listening by saying, I hear you. She was amazed when during dinner her husband said, did you ever think we'd be so happy? Number five, appreciate him. What is it you like about him? Is it his sense of humor? Is it how hardworking he is? Is it his sense of style? Is it that he will drive to pick you up? That he opens doors for you? Saying that you appreciate whatever it is he's doing for you is going to make you seem grateful because you are, which is attractive, like mad attractive, wild attractive. It's also going to let him know how to please you, which will make him feel successful with you, which will also make you more appealing. So, and check this out. You can't feel resentful, which is aging and unattractive, and grateful, which makes you look hot at the same time. You can either feel resentful or you can feel grateful, but not both at the same time. And one makes you look old and the other one makes you look hot. So, which one do you want to go with? The number six way to look incredibly attractive to your husband is to trust him. You might be tempted to ask him what time the show starts so that you can do the math, figure out how much time you guys need to get to the theater, so that you don't miss the beginning. And then you can ride herd and just make sure that you leave on time. Instead, consider trusting your guy to get you there on time. He has managed to get to other things without you riding herd, right? No need to show that you're not sure he can pull it off, which is unattractive. Your faith in him will make him more manly and more attracted to your womanliness. Number seven way to be more attractive to your husband is to be fascinating. And here's what I mean by this. The University of Toronto did a study where they concluded, and this may be shocking, they found out that women are more emotional than men. Yeah, no kidding, right? This was research money well spent. It confirms what we've known for a long time. Women have emotional brilliance. We're emotionally brilliant, and men depend on us to bring that to the relationship. And in particular, your vulnerability creates a kind of fascination. It makes you gorgeous. The more vulnerable you are, the more fascinating. And that means being undefended, not perfectly put together, not dumbing down either, right? But just being the mere mortal woman that you are, who doesn't have all the answers and maybe has a few problems that she could use some help with. It means that you might fall apart sometimes. It means there's room in your life for a man to make a contribution because your goal is not independence, it's interdependence. Just doing two or three of these things is going to make you look a lot cuter to him and to you. And doing all 7 of them is going to make you look gorgeous to your husband. It's going to make you an 11. If you subscribe to this podcast because you want to be an adored wife, well, you're in the right place. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you better do that now. And if you don't have the Adored Wife Roadmap, well, what else are you doing? You better go get it at lauradoyle.org. You can download the Adored Wife Roadmap for free. On next week's podcast, my guest is going to share what she did after her husband got a DUI, driving under the influence, that turned her marriage completely around and made it better than ever. And in the meantime, I hope you're having lots of fun. Today's fun fact is that I've gotten so good at meal planning that sometimes I order takeout and I'm not even hungry yet. For more on how to make your marriage playful and passionate without his conscious effort, even if it seems hopeless right now, check this out.